Communist and U.S. allies. Allies were important to the US and South Vietnamese war effort, but they were even more crucial to the Communists. The United States and South Vietnam could have waged war without Allied support. But the Vietnamese Communists did not have the industrial might to arm the troops they needed. North Vietnam and the Viet Cong received military supplies and financial aid from Communist China and the Soviet Union. American and RVN forces were supported by the Free World Forces, troops from South Korea and nations in the Southeast Asia Treaty Organization, SEATO. South Korea sent the most troops to Vietnam, 312,000. Australia was next, with 47,000. The Philippines, Thailand, and New Zealand also contributed troops to fight against the Communists. Chinese munitions. This Chinese-made 120mm mortar round was captured at a VC supply base in Cambodia, before it could be transported to guerrillas fighting in South Vietnam. Soviet money. The USSR provided financial aid to Vietnamese Communists. Shown here is a Soviet 10-ruble note. A warm welcome to China. North Vietnamese Communist Party heads and government officials, DRV Prime Minister Pham Van Dong and Vietnamese Communist Party leader Le Duan receive an enthusiastic greeting from the Chinese Premier, Zhou Enlai, on a state visit to Beijing, the Chinese capital, in 1973. Friends Decoration. The Vietnamese inscription on this medal, awarded to foreigners who aided the DRV, reads, "Solidarity against American aggression." Ho in Russia. Ho Chi Minh joined Soviet officials and leaders from other communist states to view a military parade in Moscow in 1961. This photos, first from left Communist Cuban Party leader Blas Roca, North Vietnamese President Ho Chi Minh, Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev, Hungarian Party leader János Kadar, Soviet President Leonid Brezhnev. The Soviets are celebrating the Russian Revolution that brought Communists to power in 1917. SEATO leaders confer in Manila. Heads of the SEATO nations and non-members South Korea and South Vietnam meet in the Philippine capital, Manila, to discuss the Indochina conflict, in October 1966. SEATO was founded in September 1954 under the direction of the United States. Its purpose was to prevent more Southeast Asian countries from falling under communist rule. SEATO's main task was to support the U.S. military presence in Vietnam. SEATO was disbanded in 1977. This photos, first from left RVN Prime Minister Nguyen Sao Ky, Australian Prime Minister Harold Holt, South Korean President Park Chung-hee, Philippines President Ferdinand Marcos, New Zealand Prime Minister Keith Holyoake, RVN Chief of State Nguyen Van Thieu, Thai Prime Minister Thanom Kittikachorn, U.S. President Lyndon Johnson. Philippine Awards. In this photos was President Marcos Pin's medals on Filipino soldiers being honored in Vietnam for bravery and outstanding achievements, in July 1967. He was visiting their headquarters in Tay Ninh, South Vietnam. The first Filipino troops arrived in Indochina in the summer of 1966. Free World Forces hang tag. This ID tag was attached to a button and worn on the shirts of troops who were termed by the Allies as Free World Forces. Aussie Ambush. In this photos were members of the 7th Australian Royal Regiment communicate by radio while setting up an ambush in Vietnamese hill country. Aussies usually operated guerrilla style. In 1966, a 101-man combat team fought off an assault by more than 2,500 VC at Long Tan. South Korean troops. Above, a Korean martial arts instructor demonstrates a flying kick, in 1968. South Koreans composed the third largest Allied army, after the United States and South Vietnam. Koreans were among the most aggressive of the Free World Forces. They maintained 3 full divisions in Vietnam, White Horse, Blue Dragon, and Tiger. In this photos was South Korean White Horse Division patch.